Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. It's great to see so many familiar faces, but even more important, it's great to see a lot of faces that I don't know. And so I hope I get the opportunity, along with the WIN Advisory Panel, to meet all of you, because this is an important day for us. I want to especially thank Kevin and Ray for your leadership of the CFP board in 2014, because you're leading all of the CFP professionals that are not only in this room, but really those that are seeking out their CFP certification and those that aren't here today. And we especially appreciate your support of the Women's Initiative. We're thrilled, and I think CFP board is out in front on this with the support and help of all of you, TD, as well as Ameriprise, showing their support, and it means a lot. So this is an exciting day for all of us. I do have some prepared notes because I wanted to make sure that some messages get across, and you've already heard some of them. But this is an important initiative. If we look at just in the last year, and you see things like Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg putting out Lean In and really encouraging women to get engaged and involved. And you see a book like that skyrocketing to the top of the bestseller list. It's important that women are getting involved in leadership opportunities. And that's been my opportunity with CFP Board, as well as some of the other organizations that I've been a part of. It's really this issue that we're all debating about whether women can really have it all, right? And I believe that we can, and I'm sure most of you as women believe that as well. It's not always easy, but we can do it. We're really good at talking ourselves out of it, which is unfortunate, but then we get back on track and realize, of course we can, so why not? I also think about just over the last few weeks, there's a lot going on that really is related to this effort in a lot of ways. We've seen reports about financial and law firms, their workplace reentry programs, which is quite interesting, where women are having the opportunity to return back into their careers after leaving for a while. And it's also interesting to see that President Obama, as well as members of Congress, have announced concerted efforts to promote and even require greater parity between men and women in the workplace, most notably through the Equal Pay for Equal Work programs and campaigns. Because the fact really remains, and it is a fact, women are still challenged. I'm going to be nice here, and this isn't about getting crazy, because we have challenges. Our workplace environments just aren't flexible enough for us. It's getting better, but there's certainly more that we could be doing. The financial services industry and the financial planning profession in particular is certainly not immune to these challenges. CFP Board really does care deeply about this, and about encouraging women not only to enter the financial services profession, but to also then even think about financial planning and considering the CFP certification. Why? Because it makes sense. There's not only a need for it with those that we need to serve, all of those consumers who are struggling, as Tom had mentioned, and in addition to that, because it's a profession worth pursuing, and it's a certification that really can validate a way of helping people and also helping them get a handle around their money. It's really that simple, but it's extremely important. As Ray said, within the CFP professional community, the percentage of CFP professionals who are women has remained stalled at 23% in the past decade. It's amazing, and I've had so many conversations this morning with women, and we can't believe it, particularly those of us that have been around for a while and have had our CFP certifications for a number of years and have received so much gratification out of being a CFP and being involved and active in the financial planning profession. So I still shake my head. But it's that statistic, that 23%, that has been an impactful one for me, especially during my tenure on the CFP board as a board director, and certainly as I prepared to assume the position as chair in 2012. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more that we should be doing to grow the number especially because this is a profession that I've always believed is uniquely well-suited to women. So you might think, well, why is that? Well, I know any woman in here who is a CFP professional or pursuing it knows why. There's kind of two pieces. There's an art and there's a science to it. I think women get bogged down with the science piece, particularly those who may not be good at math. I happen to be good at math and I love analytics. But that's not as important as that art piece. There's this art piece that's all about the family. And who cares about the family and who runs families? Women. Right? And it's those family dynamics and thinking through the values that a woman wants to embed, not only into her family, as we all do, but also thinking through that. What are the goals and objectives? How are we going to get to where we want? How are we going to tie that into the money? And that's really what financial planning is. So who better to be focused on delivering this to Americans who need it than women? And that's not to say that men don't do a great job. I will tell you the men in the CFP professional community are great men. And in fact, many of them are here today because they support this, they believe in this, and we are all peers together in this journey toward working and helping Americans gain that financial security that they need and a position where they feel that they can get ahead versus feeling like they're continually falling behind. So to explore the issue further, and to see if others felt the same way I did as I was becoming chair, I thought, why not have a dinner? We'll do it in DC, that's where CFP Board is based. And we'll invite some women who have really been in this profession for some time, some of whom have served on the CFP Board and have been very active in the community. So it was a wonderfully small dinner of about 8 women, but you can imagine the conversation. I was thinking through how are we going to work toward that growth goal that Ray had mentioned and get there. And to me, the easiest solution was to focus on women. So at the dinner that we held, we talked about how we got into the profession and why we got in. And imagine what happened. The conversations were amazing. And we had, at that dinner, Alex Armstrong, the first woman to obtain the CFP certification ever. And she's been in business for a number of years, but every one of these women are extremely successful, and they have flexibility, and they get to run their own businesses and bring family members into it and serve people that they are enjoying serving. So what a win-win. And it was that conversation that really inspired this WIN advisory panel. We have a threefold mission, because it's fun to talk about, but we really wanted to move it to action. And that's where Eleanor Blaney and Marilyn Mormon Gillis have really moved us into overdrive and have gotten us to this point to be able to share with you the research. So as far as the mission, threefold. First, to identify the challenges that women face in pursuing a career in financial planning and obtaining the CFP certification. So we've got to understand what those challenges are. Second is to recommend solutions to increase the ranks not only of women CFP professionals, but to also strengthen the financial planning profession now and getting it ready for the future. And then thirdly, to lay the groundwork for focused initiatives that the CFP Board could undertake to address this feminine famine, we call it, in financial planning, and to increase the number of women CFP professionals. So to help us reach this mission, which is quite significant, we assembled a WIN. WIN is our easy way to remember the Women's Initiative, a panel to really inform and to guide us. And I have to tell you, it's been my honor and privilege to serve with this group who is part of this advisory panel. If you don't know some of the individuals that I'm going to call out, make sure that you say hello to them before you leave, because all of them really care about what's going on with women in financial services in general, the financial planning community, and in regards to CFP certification. So let me tell you who's on this panel. We have LearnVest founder and president Alexa Von Tobel. She's a CFP. We have former chair of the CFP Board, Bob Glufsky, CFP. Ameriprise Financial Segment Marketing Executive, Elda Macias. CFP Board Consumer Advocate, Eleanor Blaney, CFP. Former Chair of the Board of Directors of CFP Board and the Financial Planning Standards Board, Karen Schaefer, CFP. TD Ameritrade, Institutional Managing Director, Kate Healy. Pax World Management Senior Vice President, Kathleen McQuiggan. She's our keynote today at lunch. Financial Foundations founder, Lizetta Braxton, CFP. Journalist, Mary Beth Franklin. And Financial Services Executive Recruiter, Mindy Diamond. I would like to ask our panelists to stand and be recognized, and thank you all for all of your efforts, and please join me in thanking this panel. So as you can imagine, our panelists and the scores of women that we've heard from throughout the year all bring their unique perspective on women in financial planning. I just wanted to spend a few brief minutes sharing with you a little bit about my experience, why I got into this profession. My own journey really happened very early in life. I'm one of 9 children. There were 7 girls and 2 boys. So as you can imagine, with that many in the household, there was a lot of sharing and managing the wealth and spreading the wealth. We each got a little bit. We still do. It's amazing. So that was kind of my first foray. And I will tell you, my father was a State Farm insurance agent. And I even was for a period of about 3 years. Just after I got into investment portfolio management, then I got into insurance. And when I was going through that process, I said, I need something to be more credible. I need to build my expertise. I want to do more than just sell some of these services, and that's where the CFP came in. But that was way back when. That was in 1993. I've been a CFP for 21 years now, and so I had to seek it out. It didn't just happen to be out there with commercials airing on CNBC like we are today. And I am so happy that I did, because like my parents, my mother, who was really kind of viewed as the CEO of the house, really made sure that we made use of what we had. It even went so far as, when you think about Americans today just struggling with saving, I had a savings account when I was 5. I had a checking account in high school, and you might think that's crazy, but actually, my siblings and I, we all worked in high school. So we had to deposit our checks into an account, and we also had to pay for some of our extracurricular activities in high school. So we had to write a check. But what a great experience. I'm thankful for my parents for teaching me that, because I was prepared from the get-go as a woman. And I never, quite frankly, relied on any man to help me with what I needed to do financially. I'm married now, happily married, but I'm still in charge of my money and our money. Do you like that? Anyway, well, for whatever reason, even though I feel this way about the profession, and many of you may, there are many women who don't, and they don't see maybe what we see. And so I think that's where things need to change. So in our white paper, we compare some of these barriers to the chutes in the board game Chutes and Ladders, for those of you who remember that game. As women progress toward becoming planners, they kind of get off track. And I can't tell you how many women I mentor who have shared with me this is what happened to them. They kind of started out in the CFP program, and then maybe they had to stop because they stopped working or something took place in their personal lives, and then they sort of got back on track or never did. Well, the reality is, as I said before, we can do it. And sometimes I find the busier you are, the easier it is. You just kind of do it. Don't think about it so much so that we don't talk ourselves out of where we really want to go. So I look forward to hearing all of your reactions and questions as Peter Fondoulos is going to really present to us our quantitative and our qualitative research results. And then Eleanor Blaney and Marilyn Moorman-Gillis will share the findings of the WIN advisory panel and our recommendations for what the financial planning profession not only must do collectively, but what the CFP board is willing to do as well. And we have some immediate and practical suggestions for you to take away and hopefully get more involved as well. So I hope you'll join me in making these recommendations more than just words, because this is truly a call to action, and it's why all of you are here. The need to attract more women to financial planning and to financial services and to CFP certification, and to make these career paths more attractive to women is really more than just a challenge. It's a huge opportunity. It's just not everyone knows that. We all know the demand for financial planning is rising. I can't tell you, over the 21 years I've been a CFP professional, as I said, I had to seek it out. Now there's a huge need. We hear the numbers, we hear the statistics, but we're falling short as a profession if only 23% of our CFP certificants are women. Women are becoming wealthier. We're taking on more positions of responsibility and authority, and our family structures are changing. So why not have more women serving this community? The financial planning profession, certainly for me, has been much more than a job and a career. It's really been a vocation. It's been an opportunity to really help people, and I think any CFP professional that I know, women or men, feel the same way. It allows us to make a difference, and it gives us the opportunity to feel good about what it is that we do every day. You should know the CFP Board is extremely dedicated to increasing the ranks of women in financial planning. And over the next several months, this is where the real work begins. This is what Marilyn tells me all the time. We're just getting started. So the white paper is important, and what are we going to do collectively to take action? CFP Board also looks forward to being the leader on this issue. We hope the research findings and recommendations presented today are going to serve as a call of action for you, because our real goal is to have you accept this call, join us in this mission, help us make more room for women in the financial planning profession, and let's enjoy it while we're doing it. So thank you very much. I appreciate that you're all here today.